Hey everybody, it's Judy Clock, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Middletown, Virginia, coming to you with another tutorial. Now today is the 5th Thursday of the month, so it's kind of my free-for-all week. I don't really have anything special planned, but I've been deep in my Christmas in July event, which is still going on. So I thought, why not bring a little Christmas to my video tonight? So I've got for you 2 easy 3-dimensional projects that you can use both for Christmas or really at any time of year. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me swap the cameras. There we go. So now for the first one, we're going to make this fun little gift bag, envelope, whatever you want to call it. This is a sheet of 12 by 12 designer series paper. We're just going to make a couple of folds in it, more than a couple, several folds in it, and get it to be into this little envelope, or you can pop it open and actually get a very nice little gift bag that you can fit a pretty nice size gift in there. Now it's got a little pocket in the front that will hold a gift card holder or a little note, whatever you want to put in there. So let's go ahead and get started. So unfortunately, excuse me, I saw this on Facebook. I don't remember who did it. I'm going to have to look that up and I'll put that in the description. But everything, there's really no measurement. So you're starting with a piece of 12 by 12 designer series paper. And we're going to fold it on the diagonal. All right, and burnish that fold line. Make sure, try to keep your edges as even as possible. That's really important for this project. All right, and then we're going to open it. We're going to fold it on the diagonal the other way. Okay, and this piece of paper keeps moving on me. All right, so again, I'm just going to fold it on the diagonal. If you want to use your bone folder to burnish the folds, you can. I'll use it a little bit later, but for these first folds, I'm just going to finger fold them. So now we're going to take opposite corners and we're going to fold those into the center. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to do that again on the other side. All right, so that's what it's going to look like. Now we're going to flip it and we are going to, actually I did that wrong. I should have flipped it the other way. Okay, we're going to flip it this way first because I want the holly on the outside. Okay, so we're going to flip it. Now we're going to flip it this way. And we're going to bring this fold up to that center fold. Oh, dear. I don't know what's going on. Let me pause this for half a moment. All right, we're back. So we brought that fold up to the center, and we're going to burnish that. We're going to do the same thing on this side. We are going to bring this fold here and burnish this. Okay. Okay. Now, this fold line here, right here, has to come up to meet this fold line. So I'm going to bring this up, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. And you can sort of feel when you're at the edge. And after you've done that, I like to just kind of fold that back and make sure that looks good. I'm going to do the same thing here. Okay. All right. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to make sure that that fold line goes up to that fold line. Okay. Burnish it. Flip it and fold it. There you go. All right. So now we've got those two done. Now we're going to take, we're going to flip it this way. We're going to take these slanted edges and bring them up to these slanted edges. And I think I did this wrong again. Okay. So I'm going to actually kind of stick my bone folder in here to make sure that those inner folds kind of stay flat because sometimes they don't. All right. Just kind of, this is where we're going to use the bone folder because some of these we have several layers to go through. just going to make sure, I want to make sure that these lay flat. Okay. We're going to flip it and we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. We're going to bring those slanted edges even with these slanted edges. Okay. And we're going to burnish that fold line. Okay. Got to make sure that it's laying flat on the inside. That's important. All right. And then we're going to fold this in half again. Now, let's see. There we go. Now, again, make sure these are as even as possible. See, this is a little bit uneven. Let me try to make sure I can get it as even as possible. Okay. You know, some of these on the inside were a little bit not even. Just going to kind of burnish those. All right, bring it over here. Get that and fold it. All right. Now we want to bring this top flap down. Okay. And again, try to make sure it's even. All right. And then we're going to bring this side over here and this side over here. Okay. And again, burnish if you have to. Okay. Now we're going to tuck one flap into the other. Okay, now you can use this flat. Right, we'll fold that down. You can use this flat as an envelope. It's still great. It's got this little pocket here where you can put things in. It's great. This would be great like if you had a cookie or something flat, necklaces, jewelry, gift cards, whatever you want. Cash. Cash always works. My father always said, cash, right size, right color. And I always said, well, it could be bigger. Meaning, you know, instead of a $20 bill, it could be a $50 bill. It was just our little joke. All right. So then you could pop it out. And there's always one side that doesn't pop out as nicely. And I don't know why. I've made like 4 of these now, and I've had the same thing on every single one. One side just does not pop out as prettily as the other side. All right. That's not too bad. All right, so now when you pop it out, you've actually got a lovely pocket in which to put something, right? You could fold it flat like that. The top comes down. You could tuck the top into this little flap here, or you could just seal it with like a glue dot or one of those little Velcro closures. You could put a note in here. You could put a gift card in here. But that is the little bag. How cute is that, right? So quick and easy, like no glue, really just folds. Great project to do with kids, as is the next one. How cute are these little like gift toppers that turn into ornaments, little keepsakes. I love making an ornament every year, and I think these are just so fun. So you're going to need some designer series paper. All right. You need it to be twice as long as it is wide. You're going to score it in the middle, and then you're going to bring up those ends and make like little triangles. You want to get a triangular fold on there. So you're going to bring those ends into the center. And then you're going to glue those 2 ends together. And you got to do this. You need 8 of these. So I'm just doing 2 with you because I didn't think you'd wanted to see me fold and glue all 8 of them. I guess they're like almost little chevrons or, I don't know, little bees. Okay, and same thing. So this actually is the reverse of the designer series paper. Sometimes, you know, one side is just as nice as the other, and they work well together. Sometimes they don't. All right, again, I'm going to glue this together. All right, I'm going to glue that. Now, if you want the measurements for all of this stuff, be sure you are joined to my inspiration library, because I have the inspiration sheet there that always has all the measurements. We've got projects going back to January, so there's lots of info. There's some bonus tutorials in there. So feel free to sign up. I'll leave the link below. All right, let's go ahead. I've got just a circle of pool party. And I'm going to add some multi-purpose liquid glue. The one thing I forgot to do, I did forget to do that. I like to figure out where the center is. So I kind of fold it in half, and I hope I don't get it to stick now. And I kind of like just mark it and like put a little fold there. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. It works better if you do it before you put the glue on. Let me just say that. All right, so now I sort of have an idea of where my center is because I want to make sure that I get these points to that center. So I'm just going to go ahead and start adding my little chevrons. Okay, and I'm going to alternate between the dots and the, I don't know what those are, check marks, dashes, upside down B's, whatever those are, between the blue one and the white one. All right, we're just going to go ahead and do that all the way around our circle. So I know sometimes you think it's not going to fit, but they all do fit. It's amazing that they all do fit. Like I said, you need a total of 8, 4 of each design. Okay, this is, again, great project to do with kids. It's quick and easy. There's minimal glue involved because I know sometimes kids can get a little exuberant with glue, for sure. All right, so now we've got our little 8 chevrons in there. I've also punched a 1-inch piece of Pool Party. I'm going to put some liquid glue on the outside edge because it's really just going to stick to kind of those hills and valleys in there, like so. And it takes a little bit of time for it to like adhere. So just leave it flat for a little bit. But that's going to go there. You can add like a diamond to it, or not a diamond. If you have diamonds, you can. A rhinestone. All right. Then somewhere I had 12 inches of ribbon, which have disappeared. But you'll need about 12 inches of ribbon. I'll cut another piece. So, and if you don't have these little ribbon holders on, these are great. Ooh, I don't know if I have enough of this ribbon. Let's see. We are at the end of this roll. Oh, just enough. Perfect. Okay. So just enough. I'm just going to punch a hole in one of these. It really doesn't matter where. Just punch a hole. I have to get that to stick on later. We'll work on that. I'm just going to feed my ribbon through the hole. Okay. Whoops. And tie it in a knot up top. Okay. So this is just such an easy way. If you're very clever, you can tie it in a bow. I am not that clever. So I just do a little knot. And then I just kind of trim the ends on a diagonal just so it looks a little fancy. Like we're going to pretend like it's a little fancy. There we go. Okay. And now we've got a great little package topper. You could tie this on a package, print it, stick it on a package. Just adds like a little fun rosette type of decoration. Here I did one in Christmas colors. Put some twine in there. Look, here's one with the Winnie the Pooh, silly old bear paper. How cute is that? If you have like a new baby in your family, make a baby's first Christmas. You can write like the year and the event on the back, like Christmas 2026. How cute is that? So these are just some really easy ways to use your designer series paper to create some 3-dimensional projects. I hope you like it. Here's a finished one with that black and white and blue. Was that Pool Party? And then we've got our little gift bags here that you can use. Gift bags, envelopes, use them flat, puff them up. But these are a great little way to, again, use designer series paper and create pretty packaging. Again, change out the paper. You don't have to use Christmas. Here's one with just some floral, pretty for like a little birthday. Here's just some gingham. So there's many things you could do. You could use them for birthdays, weddings, Christmas, anniversaries, thinking of you, congratulations, whatever you need, you can use these little DSP bags / envelopes in your packaging. All right, everybody, I'll be back next week with a new sketch. Bye.